This Sunday. Every Sunday. Side by side at the microphone, from the green light to the speed trap, Chris Switzer and Ray Garino calls them as they sees them, and you better believe them. Here! Relevant news, biased opinions, and outright bullshit regarding every aspect of automotive culture. Gasp at mechanical trickery never before revealed over FCC-regulated airwaves. Thrill to the explosive tension as Chris and Ray cuss each other down the track and barrel roll across the finish line, laughing at certain disaster as they shake hands for the devil. All that and much more this Sunday at high noon on the Motormouth Radio Hour. Call in and speak live with the Wizards of Speed and live feed, Chris Switzer and Ray Garino. Bring the whole family. Kids under 12 get in free. Every Sunday at noon on WHPC. Take the Long Island Expressway to the Meadowbrook Parkway and look for the sign saying no parking on the expressway and no express service on the parkway. Go right on Highway 24 to Garden City. $2 all-day parking includes pit pass. Sunday!
Those blue stingrays are just too much, and the XKs are hard to touch. But I haven't seen anything yet sharp as my '54 Corvette.
Oh yeah, all you Corvette lovers out there, and the Corvette haters. There's some of them too. We know those guys are out there. You've tuned into Motormouth Radio, Long Island's only automotive talk show here in New York, I guess, probably even the whole state. We'll claim the whole damn state. Why not? We've been vetted by Gerard at Rolling Thunder, so we will do that. Ray Garino, Chris Switzer. Chris, how are you today, Mr. Corvette lover?
Doing very well, Ray. I'm just marveling at the music and hoping that everybody is cranking it up and pissing off the neighbors. That's pretty much what I'm doing right now. But yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Glad to see that we're both on the air now. We have a show, Ray. We have a show. We still have one. Haven't been replaced by some swap and shop or something like that.
You know, I tell you something, you never know what's going to happen around here, and sure as Hades, that happens. Yeah, last week we were off the air due to a power issue here at the station, but they did remedy it. Actually, they remedied it like more than halfway through our show, but we couldn't do it. So we're back, and just so people know, we're live today.
Right. I can see you fogging up the control room there. Yes,
but next week we will be on tape.
That's right.
I'll be traveling again. I'll be down south for a visit to my daughter, and yeah. So we gotta. You know what? I figured this way.
Wow.
We banked so many sick and vacation days in this place through the years. We were here during hurricanes, snowstorms, rainstorms, college closings. We were here every single day.
Right.
We deserve a couple days off.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. Yeah, and we'll spend the rest of the fall just trying to get our listeners back, all three of them. So
yeah. We might get one or two new ones. I
think? I don't know about that.
Let me tell you a little music story to start.
I think we have an audience that is effectively aging out.
Well,
that's just me.
So are we. So I go into my favorite record store yesterday, of course, Infinity Records in Massapequa to see. Well, I see Corey. Joe isn't in there as much, and I'm looking around, and Corey always has jazz playing in the background.
Good man.
So Rob and I had a little debate about that. Rob says, "Yeah, I don't really like that he plays the jazz. You should." And I'm like, in a contemporary store, yeah, I kind of expected to hear rock, whatever. But no, I said, look, he's working, he's running the place, does it his way.
I think jazz brings up the value of the store.
Well, but you got to look at your clientele, like this show. Like if we talked about Bentleys,
talk about clientele,
or Rolls Royces, or
the clientele of this program do not listen to jazz. I'll tell you that.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't drive Porsches and they don't listen to jazz.
Right. So, and I always hear some stuff. He plays some really cool stuff. It's not like he doesn't play the Charles Mingus jazz. Really, he plays a little more contemporary. So a song comes on. And I walk over to him and said, Corey, I've been looking for this freaking song on vinyl for years. It's on my list on my phone. I can't find it. And he says, really? He goes, oh, yeah, this is a very odd album. They didn't really make many. I said, it's 1964. The name of the song, well, I'll show you the name of the song. So he says, yeah, I think maybe we have it on 45. Like, I don't want the 45. So there's a new guy working there who was over in the bins doing his stuff, sorting, alphabetizing. And he says, I think we maybe have that. And he disappears into the back of the store. So I go over and I'm in the bins searching for my stuff. He comes over and he tosses it in front of me. It's not even tagged yet. And what did he
Young
send?
Holt Unlimited, Soulful Strut, of
Soulful
course.
Strut. You know that? You know, I wonder. That's it.
That's a great tune. Are you kidding?
I've loved it for years. I've loved it.
Oh yeah, it is a cool tune, but I wouldn't consider that jazz.
Well, I didn't.
It was played on the radio when we were kids.
It still is today. And just so people know what I dig as far as an instrumental goes.
Go ahead, play it. All right, taking you right back to 1967.
No, the year was 1964.
64? Oh, I think it
hit that too. You see that? Hit that. Cruising around, right? Cruising over the Verrazano Bridge in your Toyota 1976. Cruising, listening to CBS. Don K. Reed puts on Soulful Strut. Listen to that. Smooth, yo. So I've always loved this song, and now I own it on vinyl.
Okay, what do you know that there were lyrics put to that song 20 years later?
No.
Yes, and the song is called, so you don't know, the song is called Am I the Same Girl?
Who did it?
I'm trying to think. Now I got to look.
I don't know. I'm sure it won't be in the vault here.
Yeah, hold on. Let me look.
With that, it was kind of funny.
Fling Out Sister. That was it.
All right. My wife and I were having a conversation the other day about some of the females who are in the news these days. And one of the people that came up was Taylor Swift. And I said, great looking girl. I said, I don't listen to her music. My daughter does. I said, but I tell you, to me, she could be one of the Andrews sisters. Because she does usually like kind of a 1940s hairdo. She wears the styles, and she's got that look. Some people have the look. Some people don't.
Okay.
She looks like she's out of the 40s. So I'm searching the bins again yesterday, and what do I find?
Oh, good stuff.
I find an Andrews Sisters album.
Andrews Sisters.
Right?
Okay. Fast fact. What are their names?
Can you see what that album cost?
No.
You can't see it on camera?
No. Is that $2?
$2.99. Yeah.
What a bargain. What were their names?
Their names are on the back here, but I don't have my glasses on.
It's too bad.
I could look it up. You know them by
Yes. I know their names.
Okay. What do you got?
Another useless bit of information. Patty, Maxine, Laverne.
Yes, very good. So that was my day in the record store. That was my
nice. That's a great tune. And who did that very same song in the 70s? Come on.
Oh, Bette Midler.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, she did a great copy. I loved it because I've always loved the song.
Yep.
I like that. I like that kind of. That's another music genre that I happen to like, which is called swing. For those who don't know. Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of there's. When you played Young Holt Unlimited, there is another instrumental. I always mix them up.
Oh, okay.
I even mixed them up on the air. I mean, I've listened to some of my air checks and I went,
really?
Song. Yeah, it's Cliff Noble's.
Oh, The Horse.
The Horse.
Yeah, excellent song.
I always mix them up.
Let's see here.
Yeah, always mix them up every time. And like I said, even when I was spinning them on a regular basis at my favorite oldie station, WCFS in Westport.
Now they have it in here as Cliff Noble's.
That's it.
That's a lot more upbeat. That's a nice 4/4. Yeah. Another great driving song.
Oh yeah. Oh totally.
Yeah. That's gonna be the music hour on WL Radio today. I always wanted a music show, right?
So I'm not going to mention Telstar or.
We'll go to the Ventures. Listen, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Not going to go there. Which that was 64, but anyway,
Okay.
I digress. That's right. The music minute is over.
Right.
You're motor mouth music.
Motor mouth. You know what? But that's always been a part of what we do. It's always been, everybody says cars and guitars. I think my good friend Joe, my friend who did the Gene Simmons impersonation, I think he first said that to me. Cars and guitars. I'm like, yeah, they fit. It fits.
Yeah, I do believe that there's music that is road music, just like there's road food. I think there's road music, and I must admit, a lot of it is there's different tastes, but I'd say there's a core list of songs that I think everybody has on their iTunes or cassette or a CD mix of. But there's always a core group of tunes. And yeah, Young Holt Unlimited, Soulful Strut should definitely be on there as well.
Every time I hear that or say that, I recoil back, because I find that I talk to people, and people I know, some of my good friends, really have no music sense or no music.
What?
Then like I have I'm very, very deeply rooted in music. Since I'm a little kid, because I have an older brother who was into music, and I used to listen to his stuff, and I was influenced by what, he's 10 years my
senior. Of course. I
got a 10-year jump on everybody else. Because I used to listen to doo-wop. Like, that was one of my favorites.
So did I.
That's how I got my wedding band. It was off Don K. Reed's doo-wop shop. Believe it or not.
Yeah, we used to listen to a lot of 50s music in the late 70s and early 80s, when no one else was really. I mean, you only heard it on CBS, but that was really about it. But yeah, we listened to a lot of that music at the time, and I still love it. I still love it to this day. Some of it is incredibly corny, and that's what I think makes it fun. But yeah, I still listen to it. The music I find a little, talk about older music, is anything I would say between 1959 and the Beatles. Like there's that lull of 60, 61, 62, 63. Just to get into a little music history just for a second, it was after the day the music died. They had a problem with finding bands and keeping rock and roll afloat. And when Danny and the Juniors was the headline after the Big Bopper, Richie Valens, and Buddy Holly passed away, it was like, we got to find new bands, and that's what, or find new groups, and that's when guys like Fabian came out, and Bobby Rydell, and those guys, and I was always like.
Yeah. I know
that was manufactured, like that. But then when the Beatles showed up, that's when I think that's when the what would you say? The water rose all the boats.
Everything changed.
The rising tide rose. So all the music got better, like from that point onward, I think.
Right.
I'm sure I can get yelled at.
Yeah. Excellent. Vince likes Radar Love is a road tune. That's another great one as we're going into modern stuff. I've actually made some CDs of like great driving songs. I have those compiled. It's just all the stuff I love from the years. But, to get back from driving two cars, there was something I mentioned on Plane in Traffic 2 weeks ago now, I think, that I meant to bring up again this past week, and I forgot to, but I'll mention on this show. We were talking about cleaning and detailing, doing some interior work, and I found a product in, of all places, a motorcycle store. Of course, I found it on the cycles. It's made for motorcycles that have black engine cases and transmission cases, and it's a spray that's used to bring that black color back. And I found on my motorcycle, I have black plastic in the fairing. It's also great for black plastic. If you don't overuse it, it kind of makes that black pop again. And if you wipe it enough, it doesn't stay oily.
Is that the German stuff?
This is the stuff. It's made by S100. That's the company.
Right.
But this is S100 Engine Brightener, as you can see here.
Engine Brightener. Okay.
Because it was made for bikes with, like I said, black cases and transmissions. But I found that it works on black plastic just as well. And that stuff is phenomenal. So if you're, you know, like you wouldn't use it on bumper covers or anything. Well, I guess you could.
Yeah, I would like to try that on the tracker because the bumper covers turned like this salty gray.
My FJ does every year, and I use a product on it, and then it always goes back. Nothing lasts more than a few months with the vehicle outside, of course, you know. But that's the stuff. S100 Engine Brightener. And you can get it online, you know. They also have the engine cleaner, which I used for years. They want you to use it on a cold engine. Right. And you spray it liberally on the engine, and then you wait, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, and you just hose it off.
Really?
I found that, like aluminum intake manifolds and even the Edelbrock carburetors on the car that are brighter, man, it makes them really pop. It really makes them look nice, and, you know, it'll stay for a while.
I've been seeing a commercial on social media for a spray that will bring up the luster of any paint, and it looks like in the commercial, it looks like it goes on like clear, like cloudy water. It doesn't have like a paste look or a honey look, and it's wiped down to this brilliant shine. And I'm skeptical. It's a German. It's called. It has like a lip jack or something like that sort of name. Low jack, lip jack.
Yeah,
but I can't think of the name right now. I don't remember it. It's not in my head. But I was like, oh, I was hoping you would talk more about that.
Well, if you're
interested to know,
if you're so inclined, buy some, test it, and then give us a report.
Oh yeah, I'd love
to. Chris, when you get a chance, we'll be and if you want to call and talk to us, you can do that by dialing 516-572-7440 or texting us at
203-670-4127 will get you right here on my desk in front of me if you felt so compelled to use your thumbs.
People have actually asked, boy, how do you change your voice so fast when you do that? I've heard you say that in mid-sentence, you change your voice. Like, yeah, it's a
technique.
It's a talent, yeah.
It's a talent.
And pictures that'll go up, and the video that we're on YouTube right now will be up later on Motormouth Video and Motormouth Radio, both on YouTube, and the Motormouth Radio channel still gets more hits than the Motormouth Video channel does. And like, subscribe, and comment would be cool, because that really helps the algorithm. And I'll reply to you. You know, I will definitely reply to you. And we'll put this also up on Facebook, Motormouth Radio, and _Motormouth Radio on Instagram. You'll see some pictures of the products we're talking about if you don't want to look on YouTube.
Yes, I've commented and said to Ray, why don't you replace the show with some obscure gardening show? And Ray has written me back saying, no, you're going to go back on the air next week. And I'm like, oh, darn.
And one day I'm going to assemble my hose and bring him in here, and you'll see. We will talk about gardening.
You know what? You're going to come in and assemble your hose. I'm going to be here.
All three of them.
I'm watching.
So I did get back to my car project. You know, I even though I have all the time in the world, right?
Yeah, you do. You don't sleep.
I can't. No, I definitely got my sleep. I can't seem to dedicate blocks of time, big blocks of time, to things. So my car project I've been working on has been languishing, really more for parts issue problems.
Oh.
And I want to say I've learned something now. I've been dealing with Summit, which is a great retailer. So is Jegs and Speedway. All those guys are great. But I find that if you have a specific issue with a part, call the manufacturer. Like I did with my seats. I called the seat manufacturer when the brackets didn't fit, even though I didn't get the brackets from them, and they had the answer for me. So I was doing, just to recap quickly, I was putting this IDIDIT, that's the brand name, tilt steering column in my Pontiac.
Right.
And what they sold me was an installation kit, because the steering column now ends with a 36 spline stub shaft. So they sold me a 2-inch piece of round steel that has 36 splines on one side and a double D set up on the other side. Then what goes in the double D is a shaft that they sold me. It was about 30-something inches. I have to.
They gave you the shaft, all right.
They gave me the shaft, but that wasn't the bad part.
Ooh. And
that shaft now goes into what's called the rag joint.
Yes.
So this rag joint is not like a standard GM. This one has a spline. This is a 36 spline on this end, and the double D for the shaft on this end.
Right, right. That looks exactly like the one when you were talking to me last week about it off air. Well, that was the one that I pictured in my head. It's a rag joint. It's two pieces of flanged metal that have this material, this very densely, I don't know, packed material that
It's reinforced rubber.
Oh, okay.
It's reinforced rubber. So what happened was, I told you I had a problem getting all that stuff out of my car because the flange that was on now the flange looks just like this piece here. This
Right.
part minus the rubber is the flange that's solidly connected to my shaft. It's welded.
Right.
It wouldn't clear the header tube and the A-frame. So I wasn't taking the headers out. I took the upper A-frame off. Got everything out. So now I go to put this new flange in that they sold me, and I couldn't get it onto the splines on the steering box.
Oh, good.
Now it's a tight fit. The chassis is right there. It's got to be dead nut center. So I said, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to loosen the box away from the frame. I don't know. Well, what I did was I got on the phone and I called Borgeson, who is the company who made the adapter, the shaft, and that rag joint.
Good idea.
And they said, well, no. In the kit that you should use, I said, no way. He goes, okay, you need a 30 spline joint. He goes, that's the other common size.
Okay.
And I said, okay, good. I said, should I order from you? He goes, no, order from Summit. It's actually cheaper from Summit.
Wow.
I said, I need to send this one back. They send me a return receipt. I order the 30 spline. It comes in a couple, now you got to wait a couple days. So you're not, you're doing nothing, scratching.
You're doing diddly. Yes.
You're scratching the ball joints is what you do. You just have to what you're doing because you can't do nothing else.
That makes you smile.
It does. So the 30 spline comes in. It don't fit either.
What?
So I'm like, what the?
Oh, for
so
crying
then I
out
realized,
loud.
wait a second, stop the clock.
What?
I
What?
had changed the steering box in my car years ago. It's out of an 87 Monte Super Sport.
Of course it is.
So I thought, what's the spline count on that box?
Right.
And
so you don't shoot yourself in the foot again.
right. So I had no way of knowing. But I'll tell you what, we'll get to that in a second after we get to the phone and after we say, hi, caller, you're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey, Ray. Hey, Chris. Me, Rob. How you doing?
What's up, Rob?
Hey, Rob.
Kinds of great things. Hey, Chris. So this is what we got going on in the shop today. My wife's Mustang, after all these years, is finally done, and it's ready for paint, which is fantastic. The only problem is finding somebody to paint the car.
Yes.
You know? Well, here's the thing. I mean, body shops, they really don't want to get involved with old stuff, you know? So it's like, where do you go?
Right. Where do you go? Where do you go? What did you do?
Exactly. Well, here's the thing. You know, I did all the metal work on this car. It's a 64 and a half. It's got the little 260 motor and all that, right? The green transmission. And, you know, I had to replace a lot of stuff. The cowl metal, some of the quarter panel work, et cetera, et cetera. It came out really nice, you know?
Okay.
Fitting things was a pain. You're talking doors, the fenders, all the aftermarket stuff, you know. I needed to put doors on it. And, you know, getting them to fit correctly, that was a challenge. But, you know, I did it. It looks pretty good. But again, now, you know, try to get somebody to paint the car. That's where I'm at right now.
I actually I'm having trouble with this because I've had absolutely, and the people I know, I've had, that's the easy part is getting the car painted. Right. You can't get guys to work on those cars and do the metal work. They don't want to get involved with the rust, but the painting, geez, that should be a no-brainer.
It should be a no-brainer. And, you know, it's a funny thing. Here's the thing. I got a guy fairly close to me. I'm not going to, you know, name names, but the guy's over in Westbury. And, you know, reputable shop, been around for a very long time. Nice guy, younger guy. And when I was there for other, you know, like collision estimate on something, I mentioned about this car, and he said, oh, I'd like to have the opportunity to go and quote it for you. It's like, great. So that was like a year and a half ago. So now here I am, go over there. And the only thing is that, you know, this car is not drivable at this point. I mean, you can drive it around, but you know, it's not registered. There's no windows in it, you know, no guts in the doors, things like that. I got to hold them together with bungee cords. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, it would be the best way to do it would be because he's like a quarter mile down the road, all right, half mile down the road. The best thing is if he can come by, look at it, tell me what he needs to do. You know, let's talk money, and then I'll go and I'll arrange for a flatbed to come over and take it over there.
Right.
Now the problem is that you know these guys they would prefer that you just bring it over to them. And that's wonderful. But
Yeah,
think
I know.
about the expense, you know,
Well-
of getting up on a flatbed, and then what are they going to do? It's going to, all right, you can send it back now, and we'll think about it. I mean,
I
you know.
don't know. Like the guys I know do that. So I don't know. I think you haven't found the right shop yet. You haven't shopped enough.
Yeah, I think you're right. But
They're out there. They're out there.
I got to look around for that. But in the meantime, so that's sitting, you know, ready to go. And metalwork came out really nice. I mean, I'm really, you know, let's put it this way. I was freaking out with every cut, but you know, it came out good. You know, came out good. So we got that. Now I'm on to another project. I have a 1928 Ford Model A running gear with a 1932 Model B engine with a lot of work done to it because the plan is to go and put this thing on the track, on dirt track. So I custom built the body for it using 3/4-inch GMT conduit, right? You know, bent up and whatever to form like a bucket. And I'm building the doors now, actually, and I would say another couple of weeks I'll be ready for paint on this. I'll paint this in my driveway because, you know, it's a dirt race car. I mean, you know, period correct dirt race.
Right, you're making one of those 30s looking speedster, one passenger type of race car.
Well,
like
this
they
is
used to
actually
race.
two-passenger. This is actually two-passenger. And, you know, and I did that because I said to my wife, you're coming with me. She said, I'm what? So it's like, she's like, so I got 5-point harnesses for both seats, you know, high back buckets so that you're, you know, a little bit safer, you know. Right. And it ought to be a lot of fun. I had a guy out in Oklahoma drop the front axle for me. So that's a 3-inch drop. So also changed the camber a little bit to get a little more negative camber because these axles, they come with some positive camber. You know, it was because of the type of tires on the roads that, you know, they bounced on back 90 years ago. But, you know, negative camber is the thing you want on a racetrack. You know, you want to be able to keep those tires in a little bit, get a better grip in turns, you know. But, yeah, this thing is coming along very nicely. It's a lot of fun, and, you know, it's just a nice little project and whatever have you. I got another model. I got a 31 Tudor sedan sitting in the driveway, which that'll get a B engine and a modern transmission. I've got an S10 Chevy T5 transmission, which is like the preferred transmission for a swap, you know. I'm doing that so my wife can have a little easier time of driving the car rather than, you know, using, you know, driving the non-synchro transmission, you know. She told me she would drive it if, she told me she would drive it if, you know, she didn't have to, you know, work hard at it. I was like, okay, well, how about I put a modern transmission in it? She's like, cool. So.
How about you sell everything and get a Mazda Miata?
Yeah, right. That would do it.
Solve every problem.
Solve every problem. I don't know. I don't go that way.
Rob, keep us up on the story. And we're going to get back to it. We're at the bottom of the hour, so we're going to take our break and finish up our stuff. But yeah, good luck with the projects.
Rob, you've been busy.
Yeah, no, I'm really busy, actually. Well, you know, I got my foot on the banana peeler retirement, so, you know, I got to develop some projects for myself.
Very good. Yeah, you'll love it. Don't trust me, you'll love it.
I'm telling you. All right, gentlemen, you have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, he'll see what retirement does to his.
I'm sure. Just to let you know, Joe the Undertaker texted us at 203-670-4127 when we were talking about road food. He says, as long as the road food isn't road kill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's got that right, without a doubt.
So you can keep texting us, 203-670-4127. So, yeah.
So let me finish this story here.
Please.
To current time. I started looking on Borgeson's website, and I saw that not only did they offer I needed to determine the flange size on the box.
Okay.
And I found out they said that the sites I saw, they showed multiple. They did say 30 spline, but the only rag joint I could fit on was the one that I had on there from when I did the conversion.
Right.
So I said, okay, if I can keep that, Borgeson does make just the flange on the other half.
Now you're talking.
So I called Summit. I said, I need to return this one. Now, these joints are $105.
Wow.
And I got just the flange. It was $35. So I actually saved money. So I had to wait now another couple days. Of course, the flange comes just the other day, and I mounted it up with the 2 nuts, put it on, and then I trial fit everything, put the column in, put the shaft in, kind of I measured it with a tape measure, cut it, and then of course how to dress it. You have to drill pilot holes to spot the because you put they have you put in these set screws.
Set screws.
Yeah, you see these 2 screws here. These are,
Oh, yes. To
these will
secure the collar onto the shaft.
and this also on the spline. Yeah, so you have to drill. You have to drill specific size holes to make a. You have to make a a divot in there.
Right.
So did that, and and everything was was groovy. So now I got it in, and it fits, and I put the A-frame in. We're gonna go back to the phones and say hi, caller. You're on with the Motor Mouths.
Hey guys, hey Ray and Chris, it's Rick over in Oceanside. How you guys doing?
Hey Rick, what's going on?
What's up, Rick?
Well, first I wanted to say, I had some problems with my 72 big block Corvette over the last week, and it wasn't running good. So I went to this guy. He was an expert, and his name was Ray Guarino, and I was blown away. And I know
Never heard of him.
worked on my 66 Mustang, but he really tuned up my carburetor in that car. I have it 10 years, and it ran the best it ever ran. So, Ray, thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Rick, it's my pleasure to help you out anytime. And I think I do remember you saying when you got there, it's never run this good before. So I can't take all the credit. I think that, just a little touch up there. But, always, sometimes it's good. It's reassuring to have somebody else lay hands and give a blessing. So I'm all for that. That's fine. Yeah.
Now, I do have one question for you guys. And you know what? I had out in Belmore on Friday night. I had my 66 Mustang convertible. It also ran good, and Ray had worked on that car as well. Mm-hmm. But on driving home, all of a sudden my lights started flashing. And I do have the auxiliary rally pack on it. So I was fortunately got home, but it was flashing intermittently, and both left and right were doing the same thing. I played with the switch. I checked the wires up front. Okay. And you know what? I really couldn't figure it out, but I didn't have enough time to work on it. So any suggestions, you guys?
I have been thinking about this.
Isn't that an overload of the system, Ray?
Well, I have been thinking about this, and there's a few things that I would want to check first. Did any of the dash lights flicker? Rick?
I think they did not. No, this was strictly the headlights. And it's very dim, my dash lights on that particular car.
All right,
but no, I don't believe they were flickering also.
All right, that's good, because now we kind of bear down and pinpoint the circuit. If the dash lights flashed also, I would have said the first thing to look at is an alternator issue. See if the alternator is spiking and causing things. Now, you do not have a volt gauge in that car, correct?
Let me think. I think I do actually have a volt gauge.
I would look at that. I would have looked at that to see if there was any. Again, that would indicate charging system, things like that nature. But now the headlights, I don't know on your car. I know my Challenger had it. Instead of the headlights a lot of times are not fused. It's direct. But sometimes they put a circuit breaker in the fuse box. So if the lights go out, it'll reset. And a flaky circuit breaker can do that if you are so equipped. The 66 Mustang is not a fun fuse box to find. It took me a while to find it in the car I was working on, but it's up on the left-hand kick panel, above the kick panel. It's not where you'd think on the firewall. It's, you know where it is. It's your car. But I would look at that, see if there's a circuit breaker. And the first thing I think of, Rick, is always connections. A loose connection, something that's intermittent, and that could be anything from the fuse box to the bulkhead connector going out to the, through the firewall, to any of the, to this case, the lights themselves.
Rick, did you put halogen headlights in this thing, or are they the standard T3 types?
They're definitely the standard lights that are in the car. And it's funny, the auxiliary lights were not flashing. So it's strictly those two headlights.
Okay, now the auxiliary lights are on a separate switch. Right? Yeah, they would be, because they're auxiliary.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So the separate switch, they may even be wired through a relay. Maybe not. It's a good idea that they would be, especially if they're a halogen light. And that's a good solid electrical connection, because you switch using a small current to switch a large load, that's what relays do, and that's why they're so important in the electrical system. So I say, again, it's a systematic approach. You just have to look at things and just... look, wiggle, jiggle, it'd be nice to do it like in the garage, maybe where it's darker or evening, and see if you find a bad connection. I don't think it's a wiring fault.
I would say, no, I'm thinking it's a short in the wiring or a bad ground.
Okay, a ground can certainly do it. Absolutely. A bad ground. Now, each light should have a ground coming off them. And, one of the things, Chris, I thought of you as I was putting my A-frame back in yesterday, and I had to work with those nuts in a tight spot. Something kept getting in my way of the wrench all the time, and it was my ground cables that I had to put off my engine because I used battery cable grounds. I'm like, these damn grounds are always in my way. I wouldn't trade them for the world.
No,
That's a good point, Rick. Grounds, the ground is the side of the circuit that's most often underappreciated and under. What's
Yeah, Rick, if you can, if the headlights are flashing, like Ray says, if it's in the garage, can you get a hold of the switch while it's still connected? Like if you can reach under the dash and reach up and feel
Mustang,
the switch.
it's hard. Mustang,
I was
actually
thinking,
curls around. Rick, I know you probably don't want to go out at night, but we can either do it in the day, or I should come over your house maybe like in the evening where it's easier to see. And what I'll do too is I'll do kind of what Chris recommended. I would put a voltmeter right across the battery, and I want to look and see if we see any kind of fluctuation.
Right. I just want to see if the switch was getting hot, if it's getting warm.
The switch itself may have a breaker on it currently. I don't know. I was doing a little bit of research this morning on the computer, but I didn't find what I was looking for. And I don't know if it's, but yeah, it's going to be something, probably going to be something dopey. Most likely.
Oh, it's definitely going to be dopey.
We'll find it. We'll get it.
Oh, I can almost assure you're going to go, this was it?
Look, it just means Rick has to drive a 72 convertible big block Corvette more.
Oh, yes. And you know what's bleeding right now.
And Rick,
hearing that.
And I got to tell you something. I'm driving my Fiat today. I got the Fiat out, and I got to say, I never thought I'd say this in my life because we drove in Rick's car the other day. I think the Fiat has more room in it than that C3 Corvette. I really do.
It's very possible. It's very
a
possible.
smaller car.
And worse, if you go to a C4 Corvette, you practically have no room. So they figured it out with a C5 and 6. They got better.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no room in these cars.
You have to like your passenger a lot.
Yeah, Rick, I was unfortunate enough to own an 84. So yeah, it's like sitting in a bathtub.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like jumping into a bucket.
Right.
Yeah. It really is. Yeah, I always say you don't get in that car, you fall in it.
You get in and you drop down. Yeah.
Hey guys, thank you. Thanks for the great show. Always a pleasure to talk to you both. And listen, enjoy the rest of your summer.
To be continued, Rick. We'll get that car.
Thanks,
Don't
Rick.
worry.
Yeah, I'd love to know more about that.
Guys,
all right. Talk to you soon.
I'll come back in. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so we've cruised past the bottom of the hour. So let me tell you, the WHPC weather forecast is powered by Canada's Gourmet with locations in Hewlett and Uniondale. Today it's beautiful, lots of sunshine. No. Not the hair. The high is near 85 as I look out the WHPC.
Thank you, Jerry Lewis.
The weather window. Yeah, right. I know. What can I tell you? And tonight, mostly cloudy. What's nice, have been going down into the 60s tonight. Our buddy Isaac out in Arizona is still 103 at night, and we're in the 60s. So
that's too. I wish we were 103 at night. Come on.
I told him. I said I'm sending Chris out your way.
Yes.
So let me tell you that there's a contest here. You can win a $100 gift card to Uncle Bacala's Italian Seafood and More, my favorite Italian place, just for downloading and using the free WHPC app.
Ooh. Can I be an honorary Uncle Bacala?
Yeah, like say, how do you do that? Well, listen to WHPC anytime, anywhere on the app and register to win this $100 gift card.
Especially when you're hungry. Yes.
You don't have to be hungry to love Uncle Bacala's, I'm telling you. It's like Michael's of Brooklyn. Anytime you go, Abondanda, beautiful. You're gonna love it. So Uncle Bacala's Italian Seafood and More is located, where is it, you say? Well, 23-70 Jericho Turnpike in Garden City Park. Easy to find. And the WHPC app is located on your Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Right. Good luck from the voice of Nassau Community College and the free WHPC app, which leads the question, do we have an honor group of the day?
Why, of course we do, Ray. It's been 5 weeks. Don't you think the mind has been conjuring up all kinds of honor groups?
Listen, I already got the backlash from the one you did 2 weeks ago with Alana. They're like, what was that, a freaking epic, was that sock? I know. You said, cut him off, run the pot. I'm like,
hey, you know what? My show too.
I know, it's true. So what do you got?
The Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour this week, and pay attention because this is
Okay.
tool related. If you lost the detent ball in your favorite socket extension,
Oh,
were
crap.
you able to strike one of your socket extensions just right so you could watch the spring-loaded detent ball shoot out across the garage? The detent ball is a simple spring-loaded check ball which keeps the socket snugly on the extension. And without that ball there, now your socket easily slides off. So if the spring-loaded ball prematurely popped out of your extension, face up to the fact that you'll never get that ball back where it belongs, but revel in the fact that knowing you are part of the Motormouth Radio Honor Group of the Hour this week.
And that's
So watch where you put your ball.
when you buy those crappy tools. That's what happens. I can tell you a tool story when we come back about why you want to use a real tool man, because you get the service that you pay for. So we'll be back with more.
And when we come back, I got emission stories for you. And if we got time, I got a lot of other stories. So go right ahead.
We'll be back with more Motormouth Radio. Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer on 90.3 WHPC.
Oh yeah, did I mention that I'm 23 feet tall now? Maybe I forgot to tell you. It's been so long, you know how it gets when you feel you're getting larger and it's harder not to show.
516-572-7440. Oh, I should have said the Motormouth thing.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision, with 2 locations in Limerick and Oceanside, who remind you that New York state law says you always have the right to choose which shop will fix your car. CarStar Celebrity Chase Collision offers a full range of services: 24-hour towing between Montauk and Manhattan, shuttle service, and they can help you with a rental car arrangement if needed. All repairs include the CarStar Lifetime Nationwide Warranty, ensuring that the experts at Celebrity Chase Collision are always on your side.
Y sí, hablamos español.
More information is available at 516-593-0920 or online at celebritychasecollision.com.
It's a call-studded program. We do have another caller on the line. Caller, identify yourself.
Anthony, I called those guys with the cars one time.
Oh, nice. The Motormouth guys.
Oh, yeah, those good old boys.
There you are. Anthony, where are you calling from?
I'm in Freeport. Yeah, this morning I miss it. My boss was, every time I turn it on, he turns it off. I say, whoa, 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 whoa. Yo, you better, may I give him a karate chop?
That's right.
Give him a karate chop.
Give him that five. Give him that five.
I love it.
Dudes.
It's a pleasure, bro. Take it easy. That was
amazing.
My favorite caller
of all time.
Maybe all time. I have heard him with the Motormouth guys. That's why I recognized them a little.
Hey, you, get over here. Every Sunday, 12 to 1, you are going to tune in to hear the Motormouths, my friends Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer. 90.3 FM, WHPC. You might learn something.
And that was a little promo I clipped from a sports show that's no longer here. They're long gone. They moved on to greener pastures. But I thought it was such a great clip. You know, when you get stuff like that, you have to roll with it.
Totally.
Yeah. So, all right. So, listen, I had let me tell you real quickly. I had a set of extra long double ratchet wrenches from MATCO. My daughter bought them from MATCO Man Brian about 2 years ago for Christmas, I think.
All right.
Chance to use one on my car to get that A-frame off, and I noticed that the flipper button, which they're kind of proud of because it's on top, it won't activate itself. It was broken off on the 13 millimeter ratchet.
Oh wow!
And so I let Brian know, and he sent me right out the whole head with the rebuild kit. I swapped it in like 3 minutes, done. And I made a post on this. I did post it last week.
I saw it on Instagram. Yeah, very, very comprehensive. Yes.
And really, the point of the whole thing is, you know, like I said to Brian, so we used to have to ride down on bicycles to Sears when we were kids to get another ratchet or socket.
Of course.
When you buy from now Amazon or any other place online, or some of the, you know, I don't know how everybody's warranties are, but you know, you get what you pay for, and you maybe need a new tool.
Right.
Deal with a tool man on a tool truck. You deal with one of these reputable guys. You will get service, and it'll be prompt, and you'll get the right thing, and you know now you're back up and running. So that's my flag to fly today. That's it. So,
righty.
What's the matter with your emissions? You code?
No, I actually had I was getting the tracker inspected, the emissions tests on the car, and I brought it in. I did some work to it, as we discussed. So when I brought it in, the guy said, all of your diagnostics haven't been checked off yet. There was the emission was
The monitor.
still the monitoring, right? Exactly. One of them was still not. It wasn't. Didn't give me the green check of
all have to
acceptance.
be. You need like
Huh?
3 out of 5. They don't all have to be. It depends which one it is.
No, I always try to get them all to be accepting to pass. So I went through the service procedure to drive around. I drove 50 miles an hour, dropped it down to 20, brought it back up, let the car run with air conditioning and the rear defroster running. You go through the monicum of the road test. I always think of Joe D every time I do this. So basically, I go through it, and then I always get pinged if there was a slow leak. It was a PO442.
Oh, 442. Okay.
That kept coming up. Slow leak. So I had to resort to a smoke machine. Now, I built a smoke machine out of a pickle jar, a soldering iron, mineral oil, and a rag.
Yeah.
I was able to build one. And I used it with not much success because I don't think I was in the right port. But what I did was I did more research and I found a guy online that used a legit smoke machine. Right. And there was this little stream of smoke coming out going, oh, this is working really well. Watching the little smoke, and he put it into a port that would go to the back of the car, basically a hose that would run through the system. I wasn't on that hose. And I'm like, oh, all right, let me check it the correct way. I'll go on that hose that he was talking about that sent the smoke through the undercarriage of the car into the back. So I went and looked at my smoke machine, and the plumage of smoke that came out of this thing was like extraordinary. It was like a cheap disco. I mean, there was
you need a head gasket.
Smoke everywhere. So I plug it into that port, and I get under the car. And there I found a purge valve.
Yes.
This square, disgusting looking purge valve.
Yes.
That I was able to pop off it. And literally how I tested it for sure, because there was smoke coming out of it. But how I tested it for sure was I blew into it and held, there's a hose on either side of this thing, blew into it. And of course, it's leaking out of one of the seams.
Yes.
So ordering that took forever.
Really? That's a common part. It's a common failure.
It is. You would think it's common across a lot of GM vehicles use it. So you would think it would be easy to get. Oh no, it was not easy to get. I did exactly what you did. I had my hands in my pockets with the rear of the car in the air on jack stands. But I finally got it, threw it in, and I knew that was going to solve this problem. And I can't tell you how well this tracker runs. I got all of the lights to go off. Good. I brought it over to emissions, passed with flying colors, and I think the part only cost me about $50, I think it was. Yeah. But I was laughing at the fact that I was using my smoke machine incorrectly. Well, but I have one of the greatest homemade smoke machines.
I know. Listen, one of the best ports to use is the brake booster line.
Okay.
It's direct manifold vacuum. So if you had a manifold vacuum port, you want to use that. You don't want to use anything that's ported above the throttle blades. You want to, and that's what the brake booster does.
And that's what I was doing. I think I was above the throttle. I was going into.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and I think
that doesn't give you vacuum until the idle is raised. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah. Joe D jumping in. Purge valves both suck.
So we're back to the phones and say, hi, caller. You're on with the Motor Mouth. So
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Hello, Chris. Hello, Ray. It's John.
Yes, John. What's happening?
Hiya, John.
I'm glad somebody paid the electric bill.
Yep.
Yeah, right?
Oh, my God. Yeah, 2 Sundays. I'm checking all my streaming stuff going on.
Well, all right. So you did hear that next week we're not going to be on the air either. We're going to be a replay next week.
Right.
I'll find a good one for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, but is that scheduled electric work?
No, it's scheduled. It's scheduled my travel time work.
Yes, we'll find a show with you calling, so you can get yourself on the radio.
Right. I'll be in the sunny south, so you won't be hearing me live. Right.
Yeah, it's supposed to cool off the next weekend, so follow the sun.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a family event. We're going down for a family event, so there's no choice. But we're just going to stay longer and make a little bit of a trip out of it because we're looking to relocate. We're looking at houses down there, so
I gotcha.
We'll have fun.
No, the other thing I wanted to throw out in food for thought when you said, the double length wrenches, the ratchet wrenches were broken. Well, was missing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on? And I'm sure you follow the channel, Val Tools.
Yes.
That was like a real shock because they were big snap-on.
I'm not. No, I know. I talked to Brian about this a lot, and I wasn't really surprised to be a tool dealer. Either I know that Matco and Snap-on. Well, nobody knows about Mac. Mac doesn't even know about Mac. But Matco and Snap-on, they expect you to do certain things for them and for their brand, and sometimes they'll just send the dealers like a case of stuff. Sell this, and then some stuff doesn't sell in certain areas. Maybe you can't sell it, but then you can't send it back for credit. They don't want you to do that. So the dealers really have to go through a lot of hoops and bells and whistles to become dealers. And they wanted to branch out. Val and her husband wanted to branch out and do some other things. So I think they did the right thing. They went independent. I think the independent guys can make more because now they can sell many different brands of tools and they're not beholden to the one company. So I'm all for it. That's my vote.
Mm-hmm.
There
you go.
That stopped John dead in his tracks.
On that. Yeah. I'm just curious to see, maybe not within this coming year, but within a year or two, how many books they're going to have selling Icon.
Well, that is a contention. That's a question whether or not Harbor Freight will be putting trucks on the street. I've heard things both ways. And Val even kind of alluded to that in one of her latest videos. So that remains to be seen. We'll see. Yeah. I'll tell you this, Brian, if you listen to this show any amount of time, you've heard Brian say it. When he goes looking for guys that owe money, where does he go? He goes to Harbor Freight. Because the guys that stiff the Snap-on guy, sniff the Matco guy, they can't go to them. So where do they go? There's no Craftsman, no Sears anymore. Well, you can go to Lowe's. They go to Harbor Freight, and he finds them in the parking lot. So I think if Harbor Freight sent a truck out, I think they would do fairly well. Because I know I actually have a couple. I bought some Icon stuff to try it out. And I have a ratchet wrench set, of course, at the shop. I don't have it at home. That works fine. I have a couple of ratchets. Again, I don't use this stuff every day. But when I've used it, I haven't had a failure yet, which I wouldn't expect because, like I said, I'm not using it to failure specs. But the Icon stuff, in my impression, is very good. I like it so far from what I've seen.
Yeah. And lifetime warranty is lifetime warranty.
And that's another good thing, right?
But as you pointed out, the replacement, if you can get it, off the truck when the guy comes in, assuming he has what you need.
Yes.
There's a lot to be said for that, especially if it's something you use daily.
Now, if you go to, I don't know what the Harbor Freight policy is. If I had, I have a set of ratchet wrenches, one of them breaks, and you go in, are they equipped to give you one wrench? Because they sold them in a set, so they wouldn't have them singly.
No, they wouldn't have them
singly. Are they going to give you a new set? And you give them your set? That I don't know.
I've seen things where they just replace the whole set.
Well, okay, that's okay. That's totally okay. But now you have to know got to bring you. Now, if you only brought the one wrench, now you got to go back home, get the set, go back, and let's face it. I have two Harbor Freights that are in this equidistance of me from my house. Some people, they're in more rural areas. They're not as close. So,
right.
And you're in the middle of a job. You need the tool. So. It is what it is. So
for what it's worth, I found their replacement policy to be no questions asked.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah, I bought the professional duty jack. I actually sold an old Snap-on jack, which was lesser capacity, and was straining to lift my truck up.
Yeah. Now,
go ahead.
I just saw something on social media. Harbor Freight just came out with a jack that has a raised, like a 4-inch cylinder on the jack pad with a pad on it specifically for lifting trucks.
Oh, wow.
I'm thinking, man, I could buy one of those for my FJ because it is it is a higher vehicle. and
Right.
just leave it in the back of the truck. You know, it's like $300 something for that jack.
Yeah, you know, I bought their top of the line jack, and I think I used it once. And
Right.
I wheeled it around in the garage, and I kept finding puddles of oil under it.
Oh yeah,
And
that's a bad problem.
That is.
so I had to add hydraulic, oil to
hydraulic
it.
fluid. Yeah.
And I called them up and said, they said, bring it to the store.
Yeah.
And I brought it to the store.
Right.
And, here's a brand new one. Thank you.
No, very good. No, that's excellent. Very good. All right, John. Well, thanks for that info.
Yeah.
And it's good to have you guys back on the air, but yeah.
Okay, well, don't call next week because we won't be live. We'll be, but we'll be back in 2 weeks. And I think our good friend Kenny Wessel, he's got a great YouTube channel, Wrenching with Kenny. I recommend you check it out. Do a little bit of homework in the next 2 weeks. See what Kenny's all about. He's a New York guy who now transplanted to North Carolina, and he's a great mechanic. And that's why I follow him. And we've sparked a relationship. So I talked to him, and now I know. Yes, this guy is doing a real thing. So 2 weeks, Kenny should be on with us when we come back.
Be nice.
I'm going to check that out.
All
The
right.
other one, I know you listen to him, is South Main Auto.
Yes.
I wish I lived near that guy. He's incredible.
He's up in Northwest New York. He's way the heck away from here. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a long drive.
Very good. All right, John.
Yeah, good day to go topless in the Fiat.
I got it. Yep, I got
Yes.
it. Don't worry.
Definitely is.
All right, John. Thanks.
Wear something flimsy, John.
He will. Don't worry. He always does. So, yeah. So, like I said, Kenny, we'll have Kenny Wessel on in 2 weeks. Kenny is a great mechanic. Like I was telling you, Chris, I wish he was nearer to my daughter in North Carolina because I'd have her go to him. But his shop is over in the Durham area, the Raleigh-Durham area, and it's too far away from her. But I would, he does things the right way. He uses the right procedures. He's kind of like a much bigger, blockier Joe D, because Kenny is, he's a big guy, and,
right?
But he follows the diagnostic path. He does things the right way. So,
which is the right thing to do. No, I totally get it, and not to fear it.
Well, when you're in a shop, now you have customers. You have to kind of do things. You gotta do things the right way. You're not going to be in business.
Exactly. And you have to have a decent smoke machine and know how to use it.
So what are you going to do next week? What you going to do? You going to sit at the diner all day drinking coffee and smoking?
Oh yeah, love to. No, I definitely. We have a lot of stuff. I am looking at researching how to remedy a sticky dashboard for a Toyota Camry.
What do you mean sticky? Oh, like sticky with your hand?
Yeah.
Like, I got to do my brake cleaning again?
Like someone poured honey on it. It seems we have acquired an 09 Toyota Camry into the fold.
Have you? What?
And yes, and there is the dash is incredibly sticky. And then of course I do the research and find out there was a class action lawsuit against this.
Okay.
And of course was not taken care of on this example. So so we're left with, and like you said, I was thinking of brake clean and trying it on some small spots.
Come back. Because when I brought that steering wheel in here, and I have that video, the video is up on our YouTube channels.
Which gets the most hits, if you ask me.
I know. I think I put it on both. It immediately takes the goop out of the steering wheel, but it will come back with time. They just outgas. It's just what they do. So
I'm just wondering if that brake clean is going to ruin the finish completely, melt it. Like that's what I'm concerned.
I don't think it would melt it.
Well, I'm wondering if
you know what?
Wow.
I mean, listen, if there was a class action lawsuit, there was an issue and there was to it. So start with like Dawn dish detergent, soap and water. See if you can, because that's a grease cutter. It really works very well. They come nuts with it when they get stuck in the Exxon Valdez.
Yeah, I was thinking about starting off with something mild, but I don't know. This is really severe. And when I say severe, because it melts, it shines. And when it shines, you would think, oh, it will create a little reflection on your windshield. You'll get a little that. Oh, no. This was like boom, the whole windshield lit up like it was raining without using windshield wipers.
Wow.
That's how distorted it looked.
All right,
With
so
the reflection from the shine.
that's bad. So you got to put a dash pad over it, a cover.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I don't know. I want to do it the right way.
So it's time for you to tell everybody what to do or what not to do when they see me out in the parking lot.
Don't follow us home. And if you got a problem with anything sticky, we're the guys that'll fix it for you. Don't worry about it.
All right, we'll be back in 2 weeks with Kenny Wessel, Ray Guarino, Chris Switzer, Motormouth Radio. We'll see you then. Over and out.
See you, bye.
90.3 WHPC. So long.